If someone had said to you before the game that you'd run Geelong to 20 points, would you have taken that?
No, I'd have tried to beat them first, Brezza, and then I probably would have taken the 20 points. So I was strongly encouraged today with our performance. I think we're showing, continued improvement. I think we've shown today a bit more depth in our list. 9 guys under 22. Our other 3 guys that were out due to different circumstances in Cunnington, Zurhaar, and Thomas. But yeah, look, I was really pleased with the effort. There's some reasons, why we weren't able to necessarily get through at different times. I thought, Geelong defended us really, really well. We kept hammering away at trying to move the ball. Turned it over too many times. But yeah, overall, mate, I was quite pleased with how we approached the game.
A couple of men down in the midfield against probably the best midfield in the AFL. What did you make of their efforts?
Yeah, again, really positive. We got Curtis Taylor a bit more time in there. Will Phillips had a bit more time, and we put Steve-O through there. So, yeah, to be able to play against Dangerfield, Selwood, Guthrie, those guys is really important to get that experience. It was, unfortunate. Look, it wasn't a great spectacle, but it was just a tough encounter that I think, both teams were trying to restrict, some of the strengths from their other teams. But yeah, to have that young group, we started with Big X in the ruck at the first centre bounce. So yeah, we looked at it as an opportunity to move some of our younger guys through that midfield.
I'd say a week is a long time in politics. Last week you got 18 goals, and this week only 6.
Yeah.
What's your assessment of today?
Yeah, disappointed. You can't survive on that many inside 50s, can you? I mean, there's probably, I don't know, I'd have to go through. There's probably 10 times I would have thought, through the game, a couple of quarter where we just didn't get either the decision or the execution right to be able to give us more opportunity to put more scoreboard pressure on. Now, having said that, what I did think we did really well was defend, the daylights out of those turnovers when we could. So I thought our fight was really good. I thought our intensity with what we brought to the game was really high. But yeah, we can't survive on that limited amount of inside 50s and then not, putting some scoreboard pressure on.
Okay, just lastly from a order question, the COVID reshuffling of the fixture and stuff, like what are you...
I think at this stage, mate, you're just breaking up, but I think at this stage we're as we were last week. So, as I'm to understand it right now, we're with the Tigers at the MCG next week, probably Saturday, I think. Not sure what time yet.
No, could you just elaborate on your midfielders a bit? You mentioned a couple of guys that got a bit of extra time through there, but obviously Luke and Jai have had terrific seasons, but it looked like another, I don't know if it was another step for them, or how did you see their performance today?
Yeah, again, really, we asked them to step up to the plate, Fish. There's no doubt. I thought, Cam Guthrie had a terrific game through there, but, I think we pretty much broke even with our clearances, scores from there. So Jai's had an exceptional year so far. He's got a couple to finish off, and I think Luke's progression in there to now take, a lead hand there with Jai is great for us moving forward. I think what I've loved about those two guys, Fish, is their willingness to work on the defensive side of their game as midfielders. So, we talk about a transition, but when the ball's sort of in dispute, their ability to react and understand where they now need to go. And I think as two young men, making their way as midfielders, their ability to help others, I think, is the other thing that's been really great from our side of things internally.
Geelong's obviously got a great ability to sort of suffocate oppositions.
Yep.
Were you pleased with your team's willingness to continue to look for the avenues towards goal, or did you think you kept taking the game on?
Yeah, we did. Yeah, we certainly, again, at half-time and three-quarter time, we strongly encouraged our guys to try to find that avenue through. Sometimes you've got to be a little bit more patient, with more experienced groups or groups that are really well structured defensively to try to find that hole a little bit late. Other times, we try to take the game with a little bit more speed and maybe move it around them a little bit better. But yeah, I thought our encouragement, and look, I think our fans have have heard me say before, and our members, that we'd like to play through the corridor. We'd like to score more goals. Now, as we get better at that, teams are going to try and restrict that. So we've got to continue to learn around how we can actually continue to access that spot, or if it's not on, make another decision. So I thought it was a great learning, day to day in playing the top team at the moment, and the way that they defended us. We'll have lots to learn and lots to grow from there.
Just on that learning, do you look to sort of still, in a scenario like today, still push through that corridor, or do you sort of look for other options to get around that sort of defensive pressure?
Yeah, well, we have got other alternatives, Ethan. There are times where we would like to go, maybe a little bit slower, not so much long down the line, but we do have other mechanisms, but they're still evolving. I think that's probably the next part of us for the next 2 or 3 weeks. If we continue to evolve, where if it doesn't, open up for us, what do we actually do with the ball? So there was some great stuff today where we got a little bit stuck in the back end due to the great defence from the Cats and keeping it in their front half. And then how do we extricate that ball out and take a little bit more territory? So you're right, we want to end up having several options, not just, and look, you talk about the corridor, that's pretty wide. We can sometimes take the option a little bit skinnier if it's on, a little bit more run from behind. So yeah, there's a few things that we're working on in regards to how to actually disrupt the defence in the corridor and still access it at the same time.
Have we seen the last of Cam Zerha for the year, or do you think you could get him again in the remaining few games?
Yeah, I think he'll be back next week, Damien. I think it's settled down pretty well. He's had a couple of weeks, with it in the games, and it's just copped a whack, in the last couple of weeks. It just unsettles it. So the best thing for him was just to give him a week to let it settle. He did a little bit of training in the main session on Thursday, but we've made an early call on that one to not push on with it for this week. So, but the expectation, unless it doesn't settle over the next couple of days, mate, is to get him training this week and back in the team. If it's not this week, it would then be for the last couple. But yeah, we think we can get him back and going.
And just quickly, how's Ben doing? I assume he's got all the support of his teammates and those of the.
Yeah, he has. Yeah, look, they're doing well, thanks, mate. We've been in constant contact with him, so I'm not sure if we'll see him in the club this week. But yeah, I know a few of the boys reached out to him before the game, so he was certainly wishing he was out there with us. But yeah, I think he and Belinda are going okay, and we thank everyone for their kind thoughts and their respect that they've shown to Ben and his family.